Greetings! Mantaray79 here, and welcome back to another deck profile video for the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game. Now in today's video, the deck profile I'm going to be making one for is a V standard formats, Dimension Police, Galactic Beast Zeal with cards from D-PV01 History Collection. Alright, let's begin. First up, the Grade 0 lineup. Now, first up, the Grade 0 lineup. For the Grade 0s of this deck, we're playing 1 Grade 0 Larva Beast Zeal. The Grade 0 Larva Beast Zeal, starting unit, skill, auto. When reading the top of, draw a card. Then, if your opponent's Vanguard is Grade 1 or greater, put a quick shield ticket into your hand. So for Larva Beast Zeal, it's the starting unit in this deck. If it's skill, like any other starting unit in the V standard format, it features the same skill and activation. When reading on top of, you can draw one card, and when your opponent's Vanguard is Grade 1 or greater, you can add a quick shield to your hand to later help you in your later game strategies. And if that, we just about covered the deck's Grade 0 lineup. Now let's get on with the Grade 1 lineup. And now for the Grade 1 lineup. For the Grade 1s of this deck, we are playing 4 Eye of Destruction Zeal, 4 Grade 1 Eternity Chaser, and 2 Grade 1 Twin Order. The Grade 1 Eye of Destruction Zeal, skill, auto as a Vanguard rear guard. When placed, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 Grade 2 or greater Zeal in its card name from among them, put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. This ability may only be used by a card of the same card name as once per turn. So for Eye of Destruction Zeal, it's one of the supporting cards for the Zeal series. If it's skill, by riding or calling Eye of Destruction onto your Vanguard rear guard, you have the chance to check the top 7 cards of your deck for a Grade 2 or higher Zeal to add to your hand to later ride with or to make use for your later game strategy. The Grade 1 Eternity Chaser, skills for skill, auto. When this unit is rolled upon, cost, discard a card from your hand. If the cost is paid, choose 1 Grade 3 normal unit from your hand, reveal it. If you reveal a card, search your deck for up to 1 Grade 3 of a different card name from the revealed card, reveal it, put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. Second skill, auto from the back row rearguard circle. When your opponent's rearguard attacks, if that unit's power is 25,000 power or less, cost, so +1 and retire this unit. If the cost is paid, choose one of your units and it cannot be hit until end of battle. Look at the power including boost and the opponent's card abilities. So for Eternity Chaser, another good card to play for your Dimension Police decks. If it's skill, the first skill, when you ride on top of Eternity Chaser, by paying the cost and meeting the requirements for the skill, you can search your deck for any specific Grade 3 you wish to ride later in the game. And the second skill, as long as you've got Eternity Chaser in the back row rearguard circle, whenever your opponent's rear guards attack you, as long as the conditions of the skill are met by paying the cost, your Eternity Chaser can then serve as a potential perfect guard against rear guard attacks. The Grade 1 Twin Order, skill, auto as a rear guard. When it boosts, one of your Vanguards gets plus 10,000 power until end of turn for each of your force markers. So for Twin Order, another good Dimension Police card to play. Just by boosting attack, you'll be able to give your Vanguard 10,000 power for every force marker on your field. And the best part is this effect is stackable. For the more force markers you have on your field when activating the skill, the more power that'll be added to your Vanguard to later help you potentially pressure or finish off your opponent with. And with that, we just about covered the deck's Grade 1 lineup. Next, let's get on to the Grade 2 lineup. And now for the Grade 2 lineup. For the Grade 2s in this deck, we are playing 4 Grade 2 Devourer of Planets Zeal, 4 Grade 2 Endless Float, and 3 Grade 2 Toxic Monster Gel Sludge. The Grade 2 Devourer of Planets Zeal, Skills for skill, action as a Vanguard rear guard once per turn. Cost, counterblast 1 and rest 2 rear guards. If the cost and paid, choose one of your opponent's Vanguards and it gets minus 5,000 power until end of turn. If you have an Eye of Destruction Zeal in your soul, draw a card. And second skill, auto, when rolled upon by a grade 3, choose one of your opponent's Vanguards and it gets minus 5,000 power until end of turn. So for Devour Planet Zeal, another support card for the Zeal series. With its skills, the first skill, as either a Vanguard or rear guard, as long as you can pay the cost, not only do you get to reduce your opponent's Vanguard's power, but also if you meet the conditions of the first skill, you can also draw more cards. And the second skill, just by riding a grade 3 on top of Devour Planet Zeal, you have the chance to also reduce your opponent's Vanguard's power, thus making it easier to land attacks and pressure or finish off your opponent with. The grade 2, Endless Float. Skills for skill, auto, when this unit is rolled upon, choose one of your Vanguards and it gets plus 10,000 power until end of turn. Then cost, discard a card from your hand. If the cost is paid, call this card to rear guard circle. And second skill, auto as a rear guard, when this unit attacks, if your grade 3 unit was placed this turn, this unit gets plus 5,000 power until end of battle. Then if at the end of the battle, cost, retire this unit, draw a card. So for Endless Float, it's another good card to play in your Dimension Police decks. With its skills, the first skill, just by riding on top of Endless Float, not only does your Vanguard get plus 10,000 power, but if you're willing to pay the cost of discard one card from your hand, you can superior call Endless Float from your soul to rear guard to serve as a front row attacker. Any second skill, whenever you attack with your grade 2 rear guard Endless Float, as long as the conditions of the second skill are met, not only do you get to turn your Endless Float into a potential 15,000 point attacker for the front row, but also you can also then at the end of the turn retire your Endless Float to increase your hand by drawing more cards. Then grade 2, Toxic Monster, Gel Sludge. Skill, auto, when this unit is placed on the Vanguard or rear guard, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 2 or greater, cost, Soul Blast 1. If the cost is paid, perform one of the effects below. If it's a grade 3 or greater, perform all of the effects below instead. First effect, your opponent may counterblast 1. If they did not, you draw 1 card. Second effect, your opponent may Soul Blast 1. If they did not, you choose one of your opponent's Vanguards and it gets power minus 5,000 until end of turn. So for Gel Sludge, another good card to play your Dimension Police decks with its skill, just by riding or calling Gel Sludge, by paying the cost, your opponent is then forced to choose 1 or 2 effects to play, which is either they counterblast 1 or let you draw a card, or either they Soul Blast 1 or have their Vanguard's power reduced by 5,000. And the best part is, as long as the conditions of this skill are met, it's possible to play both effects at the same time, thus forcing your opponent to give up Counterblast or Soul Blast, or to let you benefit from them being unable to. And at that, we just about covered the deck's grade 2 lineup. Next, let's get on to the grade 3 lineup. And now for the grade 3 lineup. For the grade 3s of this deck, we're playing 4 grade 3 Galactic Beast Zeal, 4 grade 3 Original Saver Zero, and 4 grade 3 Black-clad top tier deity Brad Black. The grade 3 Galactic Beast Zeal. Skills for skill, auto as a Vanguard rear guard. When placed from hand, look at the top card of your deck, call to rear guard. If this unit is on the Vanguard circle, choose one of your opponent's Vanguards and it gets minus 5,000 power until end of turn for each marker on your opponent's circles. And then the second skill, action as a Vanguard, once per turn, cost, counterblast 1 and put one or more of your rear guards in your soul. If the cost is paid, choose one of your opponent's Vanguards until end of turn. It gets power minus 10,000. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater and Devour a Planet seals in your soul, this unit gets drive plus 1 for every 2 cards put into your soul for this cost. So for Galactic Beast Zeal, it's one of the main grade 3s to ride in this deck. Its skills, the first skill, just by riding or calling Galactic Beast Zeal from your hand, you can then have the chance to check the top card of your deck to call the rear guard to serve as a front row attacker, bat row booster, or a rear guard whose skill you should take advantage of later in the game. And if you get chosen to ride Galactic Beast Zeal instead for this first skill, you can then reduce your opponent's Vanguard's power by minus 5,000 power for every marker on their field, thus giving you an easier chance to land your attacks and pressure and finish them off with. And the second skill, by paying the cost and meeting the conditions of the second skill, not only do you get to reduce your opponent's Vanguard's power, but also increase your Vanguard's drive check for every 2 cards moved to your soul from your rear guard for this unit's cost, giving you a chance to get more triggers or to simply increase your hand size with. The Grade 3 Original Saber 0. Skills for skill auto. When this unit attacks from Vanguard Circle or is rode upon, cost Counterblast 1 and Soul Blast 1. If the cost and paid, draw a card. Choose one of your opponent's units and increase or decrease its power to 0 until end of turn. Its power is at that time becomes 0. Second skill, auto as a Vanguard once per turn. When this unit is attacked, cost, discard a Grade 3 from your hand. If the cost and paid, increase or decrease that attacking unit's critical to 0 until end of battle. Its critical of that time becomes 0. So for Original Saber 0, one of the other main Grade 3s around his deck, it skills the first skill. When attacking with your Vanguard 0 or riding on top of it by paying the cost, not only do you get to draw a card, but also you have the chance to reduce your opponent's Vanguard's power to 0, making it easier to land your attacks with. Any second skill is a defensive skill. Whenever your Vanguard or Original Saber 0 is attacked, by paying the cost, you can then reduce the attacking unit's critical to 0, thus protecting you from getting any more damage for that attack. The Grade 3 Black-clad top tier deity, Brad Black. Skills for skill, action as a Vanguard once per turn. Cost Counterblast 1. If the cost and paid, and 3 units in your front row gets plus 10,000 power until end of turn. Second skill, auto as a Vanguard. At the end of the battle that attacked, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 Grade 3 from among them, put it into your hand, shuffle your deck. If your opponent's Vanguard is Grade 3 or greater, cost, discard 2 cards from your hand. If the cost and paid, write a Grade 3 not named Black-clad top tier deity Brad Black from your hand as stand, and that unit gets plus 10,000 power and minus 1 drive until end of turn. So for Brad Black, it's one of the other main Grade 3s around his deck. Its skills, the first skill, just by paying a cost of Counterblast 1, you can give your front row, Vanguard and rear included, a huge power boost of plus 10,000 power. Any second skill, after attacking, not only do you get to check the top 7 cards of your deck for a Grade 3 to add to your hand, but also, as long as the conditions of the second skill are met, by paying the cost, you can write a different Grade 3 not Brad Black from hand to your Vanguard as stand, and give it power as well, thus giving you another Vanguard attack to potentially pressure finish off your opponent with. And with that, we just about covered the deck's Grade 3 lineup. Next, let's get on to the trigger lineup. And now for the trigger lineup. For the triggers in this deck, we are playing 4 Grade 0, Justice Cobalt, critical trigger. 4 Grade 0, Dimensional Robo, Die Racer, critical trigger. 4 Grade 0, Diamond Ace, draw trigger. And 4 Grade 3, Ultimate Salvation combination, Adam Bullion, heal trigger. The Grade 0, Diamond Ace, draw trigger, Sentinel, perfect guard. Skills for skill, continuous Sentinel. Second skill, auto. As a Guardian, when placed, cost, discard a card from your hand. If the cost and paid, one of your units cannot be hit until end of battle. So for Diamond Ace, it's a perfect guard for the Dimension Police clan. Like any other perfect guard in the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game, it features the same skill and activation. When used to guard with and discarding 1 card from your hand, you can block 1 enemy attack. The Grade 3, Ultimate Salvation combination, Adam Bullion, heal trigger. Skills for skill, auto. When this unit is put in the Guardian Circle from hand, if you did not ride a Grade 3 or greater unit this fight, perform one of the following. First ability, choose one of your Vanguards and it gets plus 10,000 power until end of turn. Second ability, choose one of your opponent's units and it gets minus 2 critical until end of battle. Second skill, auto. When this unit is placed on the rear guard circle from hand, if your damage zone is 0 cards, put the top card of your deck on the damage zone. So for Adam Bullion, it's a more or less a heal guardian for the Dimension Police clan. With skill, the first skill, just by guarding this card while you're at Grade 2 or less, you can choose either one of 2 defensive abilities, which is the first ability is to give your Vanguard plus 10,000 power until end of turn. This first ability is to protect you against opponents who try to rush you too early by attacking you with many attacks in the beginning. And the second ability, just by guarding this card, you can reduce the attacking unit's critical by 2. Like the first ability, this second one is a defensive skill that lets you stop your opponent from rushing you too early by making sure their attacking unit's critical is reduced, keeping your damage safe. And Then the second skill, just by calling Adam Bullion to the rear guard, you can then more or less secure one card in your damage zone if you have no cards upon calling. This second skill is a defense against the damage denial strategy, which is the damage denial strategy is when an opponent prevents you from being able to use your skills by not giving you any counterblast by not attacking your Vanguard early on. With this second skill, you'll be able to more or less overcome the annoying strategy of the damage denial strategy. And with that, we just about covered the deck's trigger lineup. For the triggers in this deck, we are playing 8 critical triggers, 4 draw triggers, and 4 heal triggers. And now, after having just explained the deck's build and card effects, next let's get on to explain the deck's main playstyle. So for the main playstyle of this deck, just ride normally from grade 0, 1, 2, and to 3. For the first grade 3s of the fight, try to ride either Original Saber Zero or Black-clad top tier DD Brad Black. Then either you use Brad Black's skill to superior ride Galactic Beast Zeal from your hand, or next turn try to ride Zeal on top of Original Saber Zero. Then on your rear guards, try to secure rear guards to let you more or less have a decent chance to win the turn, like Gel Sludge and Twin Order. For Gel Sludge's skill, it will let you reduce your opponent's Vanguard's power potentially, or in its place you can also call another grade 2 Devour Planet Zeal. Either use these guys to reduce your opponent's Vanguard's power, and then when it's time to go to the battle phase, try to secure at least 1 or 2 Twin Orders in your back row on the left or right column, using its skills to give your Vanguard a huge boost of power for every imaginary gift marker you have on your field. So again, the main playstyle of this deck, ride to grade 3. The first grade 3s ride either Brad Black or Original Saber Zero. Then on top of them, ride Galactic Beast Zeal. In your back row, try to secure at least 1 or 2 Twin Orders. On your front row, secure either a Gel Sludge or Devour Planets. Then use your skills to empower your Vanguard while weakening their Vanguard, giving you an easier chance to land damage and take the win. Alright, that just about covered the deck's main playstyle. And of that's just about the time we have for today. First I want to say is thank you to the viewers watching today's video, and to please stay tuned for more videos I plan to upload again in the near future. And I also hope you all show support by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my videos and channel. And of that I say goodbye and see you all.